Welcome back. We're getting in breaking news. Pakistan being exposed yet again, and by its own, none other than Pakistan's former national security advisor, who has accepted that it was rather a terror group based in Pakistan that carried out the 26/11 attack in Mumbai, and that it was a classic example of trans-border terror. Here is a revelation that has been made by Pakistan's former national security advisor, accepting that indeed it was the handiwork of a terror group based in Pakistan. This is the big news that has just come about, and it once again, exposes the double speak, the blatant lies that Pakistan has been stating all throughout with regards to the investigation of those horrific 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. And here's an admission coming in from the former national security advisor saying that this is a classic example of trans-border terror. Let's just listen into that reaction.
The terrorist attack in Mumbai, carried out by a terrorist group based in Pakistan on 26 November 2008, is a classic trans-border terrorist event. I hate to admit this, but this is true. Unfortunately, mistrust overruled common sense. Incidentally, at that point in time, I was the National Security Advisor of Pakistan.
I'm going to go straight across now to India Today's executive editor, Gaurav Sawant. Gaurav, this is a huge admission, isn't it? Because despite ample evidence, multiple dossiers, Pakistan has been in complete denial of, state involvement in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks.
In this case, Mahmood Durrani's so-called confession is extremely significant because he was the National Security Advisor of Pakistan during 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, and he's conceding this was a classic cross-border terrorist example. But the bigger aspect is, what has Pakistan done subsequently? The military jihad factory, no action against Hafiz Mohammad Saeed, no action against Zakir Rahman Lakwi, no action against Zarar Shah, no action against the module that had not only carried out the terror attack but carried out the training and arranged funds for 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. And these are non-state actors. So when there's no action against non-state actors 9 years after 26/11, there's clearly, no action that's going to be taken against the state actors of the ISI who were involved in 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. The evidence of which now comes in the form of this confession, but before that came in the form of confession by David Coleman Headley, who was extremely critical and crucial and a part of the plotting of 26/11 terror attacks.
Absolutely. In fact, Mahmood Ali Durrani's confession comes at a time when, Pakistan has put Hafiz Saeed under house arrest, that sham house arrest, while his son calls for jihad against India. I have with me also Ujjwal Nikam, who's right now on the phone line. Sir, thanks so much for speaking to us. How do you see through this admission being made by Mr. Durrani, saying that this was a classic example of trans-border terror? It's just, how much do you see into this admission, to this confession being made by Mr. Durrani?
Let me first congratulate to Mr. Durrani for showing the courage that, yes, Pakistan was involved in the terror attack, certain group. But my only little doubt is whether he had that courage to say in Pakistan to take action against the perpetrators of the terror attack on 26 November. That is a pivotal question.
Yes.
Secondly, we have given number of evidence to the Pakistani authorities saying that how Zakir Rahman Lakwi and how Hafiz Saeed have masterminded the entire terror attack on 26 November. Besides that, the chaps who have been already in the custody of the Pakistan investigating agency and against whom the trial is pending, that trial is very at a slow pace. My first question is, now former NSA Mr. Durrani should kindly advise the Pakistan government to expedite the trial, to take the evidence of the David Headley, of which I have taken the evidence in Mumbai court, because David Headley is a very connecting link between not only Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Pakistan ISI, but he has also exposed the certain ISI official with names and their email and the mobile numbers.
Right.
So Pakistan has to take action against those perpetrators of the terror attack of 26 November.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sir, stay with me. Sir, just stay with me. My colleague Gaurav Sawant is also with me, joining us live. He would also like to ask you a few questions. And Gaurav, that's the important point, isn't it? Will these words translate to action? Will Mr. Durrani actually ask for the trial to be expedited?
You're spot on there, Avantika. In fact, Mr. Nikam, any evidentiary value, any legal value of what Mr. Durrani says, if he says it's cross-border terrorism, does it have any legal ramifications in a Pakistani court of law, sir?
Gaurav, frankly speaking, this admission of Mr. Durrani outside Pakistan has no legal bearing in the eyes of law. But the only thing is that the moral of our Indians is encouraged. Because now it is for the first time the Pakistan has made an announcement, former NSA has made an announcement, and if former NSA Mr. Durrani makes this announcement publicly outside the Pakistan, that means that he knows the details from point A to point Z of the entire criminal conspiracy. So I would call upon Mr. Durrani to speak now, frankly, how the Pakistani conspiracy was plotted, how the ISI and the army of the Pakistan personnel have assisted to complete the entire conspiracy. So Mr. Durrani should firstly give the details because he has not admitted outside the Pakistan.
But sir, in a court of law, in India, you were the senior public prosecutor. Now, Kasab was given a trial, Kasab was hanged. In Pakistan, whether it's Hafiz Saeed, Zakir Rahman Lakwi, Zarar Shah, these non-state actors, no action against them. What to say of action against Colonel Sadatullah or all the others, the state actors, the Major Ali and the others that David Coleman Headley and Tahavur Hussain Rana have mentioned. So no action against state actors, sir.
Mr. Gaurav, exactly, this is a pinpointing what I would like to point out, that since Durrani's admission carries much more weightage, not only in the eyes of the law, but also in the other scenario of the administration. Because Durrani once upon a time was a national security advisor of Pakistan, so he's knowing much details of the entire conspiracy, firstly. Secondly, the David Headley has exposed the entire network of the Lashkar-e-Toiba, explaining how the link was there between Lashkar-e-Toiba and the Pakistan Army and the ISI. Now it is for Mr. Durrani to come out the entire details so that India can also work upon it. So I must congratulate Mr. Durrani for showing this courage. Yes, Gaurav.
Absolutely. Mr. Ujjwal Nikam, just stay with me right now. In fact, I would like to go to my colleague Smita Sharma, who in fact got that reaction, who asked that question. Smita, can you just tell us what exactly, we just heard an excerpt of what he said, but can you just throw some more light on the question and answer round when it happened?
Well, basically Mr. Durrani is here speaking at this, in fact, security conference that tends to deal with combating terrorism in the region. And he began by saying that, of course, during 26/11, he was the national security advisor who was disgraced later and had to leave his post. And he had sent out some suggestions to, of course, the Indian government as well, of sending across investigators from Pakistan to look into and probe the matter. So when he was leaving, in fact, he was very riled up because in the audience you had American, in fact, analysts like Dr. Christine Fair, who got him riled up by saying that, if you were to really make us believe that the ISI had no role to play in 26/11 attacks, that would absolutely be a make-believe condition. So he was very agitated, and I asked him a direct question. I said, what really is the utility of Hafiz Saeed to Pakistan? If you are talking about dealing with radical terrorism, if you're saying that Pakistan has a national action plan to counter terrorism, to which he simply said that, look, Hafiz Saeed has no utility, there should be action against him, and he repeated it to subsequent questions as well. But on the other hand, also, of course, then backing his own government and saying that unlike the US, India does not have the capacity to really go in for surgical strikes, and the surgical strike claims made by the Indian government in the wake of the Uri attacks is something that he has not seen. He has not seen bodies of Pakistani soldiers. So at least on Hafiz side, there is that shift that we see in terms of the public statements made. Internally, it might just be one of those elephant tuskers.
Okay, Smita, they're, speaking to the former Pakistan NSA, Mahmood Ali Durrani, and during that question and answer round, she in fact asked that question, to which this is what his answer was. We're just going to play out that reaction where he himself admitted that 26/11 attack in Mumbai indeed was a classic example of trans-border terror.
The terrorist attack in Mumbai, carried out by a terrorist group based in Pakistan on 26 November 2008 is a classic trans-border terrorist event. I hate to admit this, but this is true. Unfortunately, mistrust overruled common sense. Incidentally, at that point in time, I was the National Security Advisor of Pakistan.
And let me quickly cut across to Pakistan. Let me bring in Colonel Shafqat Saeed. Colonel Saeed, you're a defense analyst in Pakistan. You claim to be a man of peace. But today, you have Pakistan's former National Security Advisor who's confessing that Pakistani terrorists carried out 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. Unfortunately, no action taken against them.
Now, what is the question? He can always express his personal view. We made a
He was
view,
National
okay.
Security Advisor of Pakistan during 26/11, Colonel Shafqat Saeed.
Whatever he was, he can make whatever, he can say anything.
Can
in
we
India.
expect Pakistan to crack down on Lashkar-e-Taiba now?
What do you want me to say about this? I would tell you that we need to put end to everything like this, whether it is from Pakistan or India.
No,
And that
don't
end
compare
is
Pakistan
only
and India.
possible if
Colonel
we
Shafqat
sit together and
Saeed,
solve
stop
our
this
problems.
false
What do you want me
equivalence.
to
There
say
is
on
no
this?
comparison. There is no comparison between Pakistan and India. You are a state
There is
sponsor
no
of terror.
comparison.
Your
India
country
has
is
been
carried out
always
26/11. Don't seek equivalence with India, sir. Tell me if
No,
action will
we
be
are
taken
not equal
against
to India.
Pakistani
India
terrorists.
cannot never be. We don't want to be equal to India. Who told you that we
You
want to
cannot
be
be.
equal to India?
You cannot be. But will
We don't
Pakistan
want to
take
be.
action?
We
Will
don't want to be
Pakistan take
same like
action?
India, no.
Sir, will Pakistan take action against Hafiz Mohammed Saeed, Zarar Shah, Zakir Rahman Lakwi, and all the others who were involved in the plotting of 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, sir?
Yes, why not?
When?
why
It's
not?
been 9 years.
When there is an evidence, yes, the action would be taken against them.
Your own NSA is saying it was carried out by Pakistan.
He is not our NSA. He is on a visit to India. He is being looked after, and whatever he says, I doubt it. He is not correct. He is playing music to your ears, and you have started dancing to that music. I think you need to be prudent in all this, and you need to address the problem which is causing all these problems. And unless you solve that very problem, these problems cannot be solved by the statement of this so-called ex-NSA, whatever he is saying in a seminar being held in Delhi. Please exercise your prudence and be
have a
prudent.
heart. Sir, Colonel Saab, have a heart. Only yesterday you've lost
No,
5
you
soldiers.
talk to me and you
Only
tell me that
yesterday
we are not
you've
equal
lost
to
5
India.
soldiers.
Something
Wake
else.
up. Wake up to
And then
terror
you
in your
expect us-
country, sir. Just yesterday you've lost 5 soldiers on the Afghan-Pakistan border. You are dying of this cancer of terror, and even now you are obfuscating facts, sir.
This is your wishful thinking. We are not dying. We are coming out of it, and we are absolutely finishing it forever. And PSL final at Lahore is one such example.
अरे
And
एक
you would
क्रिकेट का
not
मैच
find
T20
your own
अरे सर हैव अ
dirty
हार्ट
teams coming towards the reality,
did 5
and
पाकिस्तानी
Pakistan will
सोल्जर्स
stand out
अरे कर्नल साहब आप किस दुनिया में रहते
out of
हैं
this.
किस दुनिया में
I'm
रहते हैं
sorry,
कर्नल साहब
Gaurav.
let me
You are
quickly
very acrimonious in your this conduct, and the way you are talking to me that Pakistan cannot be compared to India and all
Of
that.
course it cannot
what do you
be,
think
sir.
You want to
Do not
step over
compare.
Pakistan and walk over Pakistan? Well, that is not possible.
Sir, you have to take action against terrorists, which you refuse to do. And I want to bring in Major General G.D. Bakshi. General Bakshi, Pakistan's former National Security Advisor, and he was the Security Advisor during 26/11, has confessed that cross-border terror attacks were carried out by Pakistani terrorists. The plot was hatched in Pakistan. What would you say, sir?
The simple fact is that he has just admitted to what the whole world has known all along. The lies were no longer tenable. You know, I would like to remind our Pakistani friends of Abraham Lincoln's dictum: you can fool some of the people all the time, all the people some of the time, but not all the people all the time. Now they have realized the futility of trying to throw wool in the eyes of the whole world. The whole world saw that mass killings on televised display. You know, Ajmal Amir Kasab and his 10 cohorts have come and started shooting wildly at railway stations, at innocent men, women and children. How long can you condone it? The other
Yes.
fact is 26/11 is a different cup of tea. 5 Americans were also killed in this. And
Yes.
I'm afraid the Americans do not take their killings of their citizens very kindly, as we sometimes tend to do. They are putting pressure on Pakistan, and you can obviously see the discomfiture. Pakistan is now ready to admit to anything at all.
But unfortunately still not ready to take action, and that is the sad aspect, that Pakistan continues to fool the world with words and more words, and sadly no action, and no action especially against India-centric terror. I want to quickly bring in Kaswar Klasra, my colleague from Islamabad, for more on the story. Kaswar, here is a Pakistani national security advisor who confesses that Pakistan carried out 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks. Will we see action against terrorists like Hafiz Saeed, Zakir Rahman Lakwi, Zarar Shah and others who were involved in this terror attack? Where is the trial at this stage?
Well, Gaurav, you rightly pointed out, but two things are really important. First is he's not an ordinary man. I'm talking about Durrani, the former Pakistani national security advisor. He has been the Pakistan's national security advisor, and his admission that the cross-border attack is a really important thing, and the 26/11 attacks were hedged in Pakistan. So definitely this is really an important thing, and that has come from none other than the former Pakistani national security advisor. So one thing is important. The other is, as you have rightly pointed out, 5 Pakistani soldiers were martyred. And today, according to my information, Pakistan Foreign Office called Deputy Ambassador of Afghanistan and protested, lodged a strong protest. And the important thing in this protest is they said that definitely the cross-border attacks are going to shatter the peace between Pakistan and the Afghanistan. So definitely this is the point, and Pakistan side wants Afghanistan to act against the terrorists hiding there in Afghanistan. So let me connect this statement to the statement of Pakistan's former national security advisor. So definitely when he talks about the 26/11 attacks, he has a point that definitely the attack was hedged and Pakistani by the Pakistan-based, the terrorist organizations. So Pakistan need to act against that. So this is really important. And when we talk about Pakistan Foreign Office, I am told that they always do not, the comment on such type of statement, the personal statement. But let me tell you, Pakistani state has woken up to such type of organization. Hafiz Saeed is, under house arrest. Jaish-e-Mohammed leader is under house arrest. So we have seen to some extent the Pakistani government and the Pakistan army establishment has woken up, and they are taking action against such type of terrorist organization as well.
Okay, so Pakistan may claim it is taking action, but the fact remains, when 166 innocent people from India, Israel, United States of America and several other countries are killed, house arrest is clearly, and that too after 9 years, is no punishment. And that is something that India needs to insist. Avantika, Pakistan has taken no action against even the non-state actors involved in 26/11.
Absolutely.
What to say of state actors who were directly involved in plotting this terror attack?
And despite this big admission coming from their very own, from the former National Security Advisor of Pakistan, let's just see what they have to do next.